before we get into this episode of the Red Brothers pod, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to our very close friends at Kingship Clothing. Use code Red Brothers to get a 10% discount for clothes all year round. Welcome back, everyone, to the Red Brothers pod, and join us today for the post-match chat after the Everton game. I'm Victor,
and I'm Alex.
And not very great yesterday, was it?
Not bright. No, I mean, just starting on the referee side of things, that was absolutely abysmal. Oh my, just every single decision, everything that happened throughout that game, just the fact the whole result was based on the officiating of the match.
Yeah, I mean, it's becoming a regular problem in the Premier League where we have the best league in the world with by far the worst referees. Yeah. And it just makes it a less enjoyable product. You know, I wait all week to sit down and watch Liverpool play when we finally get round to it, just to get that enjoyment sucked right out of me because the referee's not doing his job properly.
It's so frustrating when the referee is taking up most of the watch time. I mean, the fact that so many times throughout that game, the camera was just panning on the referee throughout the whole match.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. Yeah. Because he was clearly, I don't know what he was doing last night, but clearly not watching the game. But, there's a reason a camera pans to him every 5 seconds because he keeps making these ridiculous decisions. And don't get me wrong, the majority of the decisions that didn't go our way, sorry. What I was trying to say is, don't get me wrong, decisions that should have gone our way went their way, and decisions that should have gone their way went our way at times. But over the majority of the game, it was definitely us that it hindered more. And I think the goal for the free kick for the first goal for Everton, it wasn't a foul. And dives, he kicks his foot into the ground, falls over, and the referee gives a foul for it. And then, even if we look to sort of the closing minutes of the game, Salah's running through, dribbles past about 3 or 4 defenders. The last defender swipes his legs clean under him. And that was 94th minute and 48 seconds. So, if we get that free kick, we have all the possibility to sort of go back with the ball, keep it a little bit, kill the game off. But no, he lets play go on. And they go and score from it.
I mean, even the little decisions that don't go our way, they might not have a big impact, for example, on a goal, but mentally it gets to the players, it gets to the coach.
It's frustrating, and that's why you see us pick up so many yellow cards yesterday. I remember there was one Szoboszlai got where he got wiped clean out, no foul, no decision, and then he turns around and fouls the Everton player from frustration and gets a yellow card, and it's just unfair because, it's constantly sort of hyping the players up and creating that sort of negative energy where, they feel like it's against them. And when you keep making these decisions and it seems like everything's going in their favour, it's going to get to the players' heads. And we could see that last night with how many fouls we gave away. I think in the 70th something minute, we were already on 16 fouls given away. And, I do think with a better referee, that number would have been by half.
Yeah.
Just by making the right decisions. And then if you take away the wrong ones, there's not going to be as many fouls in the game because players aren't frustrated because they've just been snapped in half and the referees looked at them and gone play on.
Exactly.
Of course, their reaction is going to be to go give it back because if he allowed it for them, why should he not allow it for us? And then they end up getting booked.
Yeah, I mean, and tempo just doesn't get any, we didn't build any tempo.
Horrible game.
But the problem is that you can't get momentum because the play kept stopping throughout the match.
It was every 2-3 minutes there was a foul.
Exactly, and so many stoppages.
When you are the better team playing a sort of a lower level side, momentum is huge. Picking up on momentum, taking advantage of it when you do have it, it's massive. And us not being able to create it because there was a foul every 2 minutes, it really hindered us throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Oliver, the same referee. I mean, it's not even just this match. There's been match before where you're just thinking
even for Arsenal's sake, when Lewis Skelly got sent off at Wolves, it was soft. should never have been a red card, and he goes and gives it as a red. And we've seen sort of multiple like examples of him not being fit to referee. And I think what really annoys me is when you have a sport like the UFC, yeah, there's great sporting integrity, and the referee is vital for the right outcome.
Yeah.
Deciding whether someone's knocked out, whether they're still fighting, still defending themselves, those decisions are huge. And if a referee does a really poor job, Dana White will come out in the press conference after the event and say he will never referee in the UFC again.
Yeah.
So why can we not see this sort of same energy in the Premier League? If anything, it's the other way round, and the referees are massively protected for no apparent reason. You can't even criticise them nowadays, and it's ridiculous because when they're putting in performances like that, what else are you meant to do other than criticise them?
Yeah, and of course, and you never know. That game could have been the one that just lost us the title.
I know.
Based off just such silly decisions.
And this is what annoys me the most because it's consistently the same thing. Last season, Doku plants his foot in McAllister's chest. Play on, no problem.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Michael Oliver was on VAR for that one, so makes plenty of sense that. Odegaard handball at Anfield, he's spinning on the ball, he's put his hand down like this, span completely on the ball, no handball, of course. I know there was plenty more decisions last season that sort of the Tottenham game. We got a goal disallowed.
Yeah.
It was quite clearly onside.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. Like, at what point do we start questioning these referees as to whether they're fit for purpose? Because the amount of points we drop from poor refereeing decisions is just ridiculous. And even last night, Idrissa Gana Gueye, second yellow card, he pulls back Szoboszlai on the counter attack, drags him down to the ground already on a yellow. It's a red card. And people make the argument that some of our players, Bradley, should have been sent off or someone else. But if you're not going to give it on the initial foul, because Idrissa Gana Gueye was around 10 minutes after half time that he could have got that second yellow, and all the other fouls were afterwards. So, okay, cool. Bradley and whoever else could have got sent off. But if Garner gets sent off first, I promise you the game flips on its head like that.
Yeah, exactly. And going back to your point about whether these referees are fit to officiate, because we saw it with David Coote. That whole scandal to do with Liverpool, it's not even the fact that it's Liverpool, it's the fact that he was a referee for so long. And there's no
referee in Liverpool games.
Exactly, and there's no type of research or anything that there's no precautions for something like this happening.
And it's just crazy that you had someone in the PGMOL that actively said, Liverpool are this, Liverpool are that, Klopp is this, Klopp is that, and now we're still getting these referees that are just not fit for purpose. And it makes me question if there's an agenda again. Because, a lot of people laugh when they hear, people say that there's an agenda against their club. Don't get me wrong, I understand. Every club gets decisions given against them. It happens in football. But the problem is when we've had a clear example of someone actively disliking Liverpool and making decisions against them because of his dislike to the club, what's the guarantee that it's not happening again? Yeah. And if it costs us a league title, it has last season, 21-22, Rodri handball away at Goodison, not a penalty for Everton, that would have won us the league. Off the top of my head, I can think of countless times where in massive title deciding games, we've been scrutinised by the referees from no fault of our own, and it just starts becoming really frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, history repeats itself. So if we had one example of an agenda against Liverpool, who knows if it's happening again? So
that's my point. And, it's just sad to see because, like I mentioned earlier, I'll spend all week looking forward to the Liverpool game on the weekend or in the midweek. And for the whole viewing experience to be ruined by some geezer in a yellow fluorescent shirt, no wonder he gave out so many yellow cards. He was a yellow card. It's ridiculous, and it ruins your enjoyment for watching the game. Merseyside Derby, last one at Goodison, to put us 9 points ahead of Arsenal, and it just gets absolutely ruined by the referees.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, my whole enjoyment from that game, it's just gone because of poor officiating yet again and again.
Yeah, I agree. And some people make the argument on, well, an Everton player went down injured. I'm not sure who it was. He went down injured during extra time, but I'm sorry, he went down for about 30 seconds.
And we played 3 extra minutes.
Exactly.
And Alex, yeah, what did I say to you? 95th minute, right as it ticked over the added time, what did I say to you?
Memory's not too clear right now.
So what I said to Alex was, I guess we're playing till Everton score.
Yeah.
And what happened? Yeah. Exactly that.
Exactly.
Why? 2 Everton players crash heads. Yeah? It takes them 30 seconds to get treatment and get off the pitch to be able to come back on. So we play 3 minutes extra.
Exactly.
Where is the mathing? Because for me it isn't.
And in the 96th minute, Everton literally had the ball with their goalkeeper passing around the back. So,
and let me just to add another sprinkle on top. Konate's fouled for the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets pushed in the back. It doesn't allow him to win the header. The ball then bounces awkwardly in the box. It gets knocked on with another header, and it falls to Tarkowski. But do we not care about that anymore?
And it was reviewed as well.
Exactly. It was reviewed for offside, but of course the foul was never checked. Because why would you check that? Why?
But that's
What's
the thing.
point?
I'm pretty sure that Michael Oliver went to the VAR screen and
no, he
watched
didn't.
it.
He was standing there with his headphone like a dosser.
Well, there you go. And these are things that change in such an important match.
In 98th minute of the Merseyside Derby, that could potentially put Liverpool 9 points ahead of Arsenal. At least do your due diligence and make sure that the goal is actually a goal.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
sweet, you check the offside. What about the foul on Konate?
Exactly.
And it's just ridiculous. On top of all the ridiculous decisions that happen throughout the game, again, Ndai kicks the floor. Sorry, Szoboszlai was just running behind him. Free kick. There was another one where I think it was McAllister. He sort of put his foot like stomach height, sort of wins the ball. The player didn't touch him at all. Like the Everton player, no contact between them. Goes down, yellow card, free kick to Everton. And it just happens so many times throughout the game. And when you keep getting put under the cosh by these set pieces, which Everton are quite good at, it just, again, the momentum, like we mentioned earlier, and sort of the flow of the game, it just goes. And it's unfair that we have to deal with that because 50% of those fouls were not fouls. And I understand getting 1 or 2 wrong. We all make mistakes. But when you're religiously making the wrong decisions, is no one up ahead looking at that and going, right, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Because that should be the case. If I go to my job and I don't perform to a certain standard, I lose my job. So Why is it fair that these referees that get paid hundreds of thousands, when they don't do their jobs, you know what happens? When they do it poorly, they get a week off paid. Wow, what a punishment.
Get a free holiday.
Pretty much.
They might have to apologise, maybe.
Or they'll send them to the championship for a week. Whoop-de-doo, oh no.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous. But I mean, we did spend quite a chunk of this talking about sort of the referee. I know it's the main talking point. I think just quickly to close this sort of subject off, the Schlott red card was ridiculous. Schlott walked up to him, shook his hand, red card. Yeah, nice one. Aggressive handshake. Sweet, mate. Next time we'll do social distancing. The Jones red card, fair enough, but a big shout out to Curtis Jones. Decore was celebrating in front of the Liverpool fans. Jones came over, stuck it on him, got in his face, rightly so. And, it was really nice to see that a Scouser, one of our homegrown talents, putting in that sort of... doing that sort of thing, to help the fans out, it was really nice to see. Definitely no problem with Jones getting that red card. If anything, I'm really happy that he did that because he, even if there was still a small majority of the fan base that sort of doubted him, able to prove that he'll stand behind the fans and help them out and
yeah.
stuff. So that was great to see. And the call raise for red card, sweet, don't really matter. It was a red card, but
Yeah.
it was after the game anyway. So yeah, just sort of closing that subject off. I mean, although the referee impacted the game hugely and potentially was the reason we dropped points, I still think we need to be better in closing games. I think Jota has that chance where he got through a few players outside the box, ran into the box, and then I'm not too sure what he was trying to do. Uh, Carried on dribbling instead of just getting a shot away, and it's like, chances like that at 2-1 you need to take, because look what happens when you don't. You get punished at the other end. And it was just poor to see, and I think we didn't deserve a win out of that game. We didn't play well enough, but the fact that we were in a winning position and lost simply because some dosser in a fluorescent yellow shirt decided so. It's not great, but obviously we still need to be better going forward, and it wasn't a great performance.
Well, we did predict that it was going to be a scrappy game.
It was exactly what we predicted. Yeah.
So, and to be fair, I mean, you don't win titles by dominating every team. Some games won't be easy. Some games will be scrappy, and you can get a tough result.
But to win the league, you need to be winning those games. And we didn't.
That's what I'm saying. So I think it's unfortunate we didn't get them 3 points, because that is how you win them titles. You get through the scrappy games. You have a statement to the other teams in the league that even on your worst days you can still pull out a result.
Still get 3 points.
So the fact we couldn't do that, I think that's poor. It's unfortunate to see as well. So let's hope there's better things to come. I just hope the momentum based on that game,
confidence.
I hope it doesn't slow down. I mean, a tough result at Plymouth. We did a draw to Everton, our rivals.
Now we've got Wolves to sort of look ahead to, but
I mean, Wolves,
hopefully that'll be pretty self-explanatory. We're at Anfield, so I don't see too many problems with that. But then again, nor did I see problems with Forest, and as we all know, they done us over at Anfield. So we'll see. But I mean, man of the match for me, it was definitely Salah, goal, assist. He wasn't, don't get me wrong, it wasn't one of his best games. He did go sort of missing for large parts of the game, but, when he does get that ball in those positions, he will find a goal or an assist, and he found both last night.
I agree.
What a season he's having. 21 or 22 goals and 14 assists in 25
crazy.
Or 24 games.
Absolutely crazy. That's like a FIFA type statistic. I mean, mind-blowing, genuinely. And there's no doubt to say that he is the best player in the world yet again. So
I think people are slowly going to start accepting Salah as sort of the best right winger in Prem history, if not best winger. I mean, people argue Ronaldo for his Man United season, but I don't think. I know he won the Ballon d'Or, but if Salah goes and continues this form, and we win the Premier League and he wins the Ballon d'Or, and in the Champions League we'll see what happens. I think people will start to say that he is the best to ever do it in the Prem, and especially if he can hit that 2020, the double-double that Henry hit in 04, if I'm not wrong. If he can add that on top of what he's doing and the trophies that we might potentially win, I think he will start finally getting his flowers as... for a lot of years, people haven't really been giving Salah the flowers he deserves. So it is good to see that he's performing to a high level now and getting those flowers.
Yeah, I agree, and I genuinely do hope he wins the Ballon d'Or. It's so deserved. If there was ever going to be a season, it's this season. So, and just a quick note on the Wolves game ahead. I think that's such a vital game, so much more vital than we think, because it's right ahead of Villa and City. So,
and that's where our sort of problem is with this title race. We now drop points at Everton. We're looking ahead at Wolves, but then after that it's Villa and City, both away back to back, and it's sort of they're 2 games we can drop points in, and if that happens, Arsenal are right on us.
Exactly,
and we can't allow that to happen.
Exactly. I mean, it's scary because if we drop points, if we let's say we lose both them games, then Arsenal, I'm pretty sure,
1 point.
exactly 1 point behind us. So now, yeah, sick one with 9 points ahead, but like a snap of a finger, and
But
we
again,
lost
this
it.
is what I mean. It's the referees. We should be sitting here saying we're 9 points ahead. We're going to beat Villa. We're going to beat City.
Yeah,
But because of a ridiculous decision and a ridiculous decision to allow them to play until they score, we're now sitting here potentially thinking, being worried about, the title sort of slipping out of our hands.
yeah,
And that shouldn't be the case, not because of a refereeing decision. We should be sitting here and saying, Liverpool were poor yesterday. That's why the title might, slip out of our hands because we're not good enough. But it's not that we weren't good enough. Don't get me wrong, we didn't play the greatest, but we did enough to get 3 points.
yeah.
And the only reason we didn't is yet again the dosser in the fluorescent shirt.
Well, listen, last season is a perfect example of this. To start of the season, Tottenham. Well, Tottenham, that's such
First loss of the season.
Exactly,
As well.
that was such an important game for us because
We were both top at the time.
Yeah, and we would have been
But
unbeaten.
look, just put it this way, yeah. I know what you're trying to say, so I'll kind of just brief it down a little bit. Just go back to last season. Give us, theoretically, give us the points from the Tottenham game, because I promise you, if we go 1-up on them before the red cards, when Diaz scored and when it should have been given, especially considering they scored off of the free kick from the offside, which was never offside. So, in theory, let's give Liverpool 3 points for that game. You go to the Arsenal game that finished 1-1. You give Salah the penalty from the Odegaard handball, plus 2 points. City, Doku kicked McAllister in the chest. Salah slots that penalty. Boom, 2 points extra. Now you take 1 point off City, 1 point off Arsenal, 3 points off Spurs, and wow, all of a sudden the league table looks a bit different.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, are we going to be sitting here at the end of the season going, we got shafted there, we got shafted there, we got shafted there, and that's why we didn't win the league? Because again, I just don't have the energy to deal with that again.
Yeah, I would much prefer to lose the title to an amazing side that played so well.
Like when we were losing it to City early on in sort of Klopp's tenure, when we started challenging. Fair play.
Yeah,
Of course, there was one or two decisions that went against us in them seasons, but that would have been the same for City. But when there's seasons like last season where it's multiple times in multiple massive league deciding games, just how can you justify that? How can you explain it? How can the PGMOL sit there and go, oh, no worries, lads, we're not being biased, we just took the league title off you because we thought it would look better in blue. That's genuinely the thought process at the PGMOL. And great, we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll have an apology. Sorry, Liverpool, we made the wrong decision for the 563rd time. We're not going to learn from our mistakes, so expect a few more apologies. But sorry, brilliant. It means nothing.
I mean,
we take 2 points and we get an apology.
This season, I mean, we stopped getting the apologies.
Oh, yeah. So we're not even getting that now. Now we're just left in the dark wondering whether they're incompetent or whether we're incompetent.
Exactly.
But I can tell you two things. I'm competent and they're not.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, I probably wouldn't be competent as a referee, but I'm competent as a human, and I know that they're not competent as referees, so I think that applies quite well.
I mean, I'm not funny, but if I had all that training, then I would be a competent referee.
You train all your life to become a referee, to be absolutely diabolical. How can it happen? And this is exactly back to my point earlier. I have a job. If I don't perform to a certain standard, I lose my job. That's how life works. Referees, no worries, don't apply the rules. Yeah, mate, go out on a 6-week bender, say you hate Liverpool. Yeah, sweet, we'll have you on for Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Sweet, brilliant. Like, I don't know. Are they not taking lessons out of the hundreds of refereeing decisions that have gone wrong, not only against us but against every other team in the Premier League? Like, are we not learning from these instances?
It's so poor. Like, can't even comprehend it, and
It just ruins. It ruins
everything.
the watchability of the sport. You
How
can't sit there and enjoy it because you're sitting there slating the referee every 2 minutes because everything's going the wrong way.
I mean, how can two random football fans notice how poor of a job you're doing?
And the PGMOL sitting there going, "Yeah, Michael, mate, you're quality, you're
Exactly.
brilliant, you lad."
These people get paid so much money to do absolutely
Don't even get me started.
shit all. So it's so poor, and it just, when is it going to stop?
When is it going to stop? No, that's a good question.
We thought it's going to stop with VAR.
Yeah,
It's gone worse.
just made it worse.
It's gotten so much worse.
The Everton Leicester, United Leicester game in the FA Cup would maybe kind of just say different, but yeah, VAR was meant to come in, help, but the problem is, because this is what I mean, VAR isn't the problem. The software, it works as it should. It's the people operating it.
Yeah.
The same people that were making the wrong decisions on the pitch when they were referees are now sitting behind the computers making the same wrong mistakes. They've kitted them up with everything you could potentially need to make the right decision. We've got 16 different camera angles. We've got super zoom cameras that will detail it down to a pixel. But we still make the wrong decisions. Make it make sense.
That's the point. Like, it's no longer human mistakes. If a VAR makes a mistake,
But this is my point. It is human mistakes.
As in, they got all the resources in the world, all the assistants. Yeah, it's no longer just a referee sees a play once in front of them.
Yeah, makes the wrong decision,
makes the wrong call. Game goes on. But however, you got the referee. Mike, there's 3 people in his ear watching the same thing as him. He goes up to the monitor, sat there analysing it 5 minutes.
The game stops, so momentum and flow of the game is completely gone at this point.
And you're watching the same clip in 6 different camera angles for 5 minutes and you still make a wrong decision. How could it be? And it's not even just that one referee, it's all the assistant referees, all the people.
And this is the thing, like, multiple times I've been watching Premier League games and I see something on VAR, and straight away, within a split of a second, I can decide whether that should be a foul or it shouldn't, or whether it is a handball or isn't. So if me, from my sheer experience watching football, I'm able to tell in the split of a second, why are they taking that long? And why are they still getting it wrong? It's unbelievable.
I agree. I mean, how can we really make it better? Genuinely, there's not
much better referees, but
that's it. That's genuinely it. So it's so poor to see such poor refereeing in the best league in the world.
No. We are running a bit short on time now, so should we get into the player ratings and wrap it up?
Yeah, I agree. There's not too much to talk about.
Alisson,
I mean, I don't think there's much because I've done
7. Really, I mean, the first one, I would maybe like to see him save it. It was definitely savable, but I think, they got caught sleeping and that makes it instantly harder. So, not too much blame for him.
Yeah,
I'd probably give him a 6 or a 7.
The whole team wasn't switched on. We can't really expect him to be switched on.
But then, that's the thing as a goalkeeper, you have to be. That is your job. You have to be switched on 24/7.
Yeah.
Because especially when you play for a team like Liverpool that concede 1 or 2 chances a game, you have to be awake for them 1 or 2 chances, otherwise you get punished, and that's exactly what happened.
And I just think the whole team needs to do so much better there because the ball's got through 10 people before it got to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. So moving on to Bradley, I don't think he was great yesterday.
Yeah, but I don't think he was exceptionally shocking. I think he just
for me, it was a 5.
I just don't think he was a standout. I'd just give it a 6. Like, nothing crazy.
Onto Konate.
Onto Konate, yet again, I just don't see anything that
6,
special. Yeah, just 6, just very
average. I think it's poor for the first goal. He gets beat by Beto, out-muscled, out-fought. So I think that's sort of what brings his mark down a little bit. But other than that, he was quite good.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see that too often with Konate. So moving on to Van Dijk, what do you think?
6 again.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing special, nothing great.
he's been. That was one of the first times this season where I saw him get caught out. It was so poor. So
with that header to that's how
so
I think it
he
was.
genuinely looked a bit lost there. Robbo, yeah, again, like just so average. The whole defense was just so meaty, like just not great. So I'll give him a 6.
McAllister, I think one of the standouts. I'd give him a 9. Winning the ball back plenty, redistributing position well, and obviously scoring the equaliser.
Yeah, I mean,
so 9 for him.
Not only did he score that goal, but he's won the ball back, played it out, got into a good position. He scored a header. Little lad scored a great header.
I mean, so how it went? He took the free kick. It gets intercepted. He intercepts it back. Plays it to Salah.
I think.
Salah, who plays it back to McAllister, who goes back to Szoboszlai. McAllister then runs back into the box as Salah whips it in and just scores the most wonderful header ever.
Exactly. So
quality.
Genuinely
and
amazing.
Next to him, it was Gravenberch. He came off around the 60th minute. I don't think he was too great. It would probably be another 6.
Yeah, nothing too special. Didn't really see anything stand out. It was quite subpar based on his previous performances.
Szoboszlai,
yeah, again, just not
for
amazing.
Me 5.
I don't think he was that poor, but I just don't think he was.
He just didn't really provide anything all game. Nothing notable.
Yeah, I agree.
Messed up his passes, lost the ball plenty. Just not great for me yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely nothing stand out from him at all.
And Salah on the right again. 9.5 I'll go, just because I think he pips McAllister for man of the match, and I think he was by far our best player on the pitch. So
I agree. I think, again, such a poor day. However, he still had an impact, getting 2 goal contributions. It's just what he does. Not great either. I don't think genuinely, but I don't think this was not the correct game to start him.
5. He was just poor.
Yeah,
nothing.
Genuinely.
Offered nothing. Did nothing really. It just wasn't great, and that leaves us with Gakpo, who also wasn't great.
Yes, everyone was so
probably
subpar,
around again 5 or 6. Not great at all.
Yeah, the team average rating is like a 6.
Yeah.
So horrible. So,
but I think if you look at the substitutes, I think Jones definitely deserves at least an 8. Gets the assist for the Salah goal. Was big when he did come on, so I would give Jones an 8.
Yeah.
Shimikas 6.
Yeah, nothing well.
Who else came on? Nunes 6.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 7 because that second goal he was massively involved and he kept really composed and passed the ball out in the box, which led to the deflection that went to Salah.
You don't see that often.
Exactly.
Nunes,
so
what happened
that's why I'll give him the 7.
He was stuck with a decision and he did it. He didn't think, he didn't hesitate.
He just made the right decision.
He made the right decision and it worked for him. Got a goal in the end. So, I think, maybe 6, 7, I agree.
Yeah, it would be a 7. And then Jota really pissed me off with the chance in the last few minutes where he just carried on dribbling for no reason. So he can have a 6 as well.
Yeah, nothing notable. Is that all the substitutes?
I think so.
So, I think that closes out.
Trent came on as well for Bradley. So
wasn't that at the very end?
No, it was like 60th minute.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think Trent 6 didn't really do much when he come on.
I don't think he did anything particularly.
Yeah, that's why you can have a 6.
He just didn't make himself very
6 is 6 is the rating a player starts with at the start of the game, or when they get subbed on. So he didn't do nothing bad, didn't do nothing great, so he gets a 6.
Nothing notable. So and I think that must be everybody. So
I think it's time to wrap this episode up.
Yep, I agree.
So thank you everyone for tuning back into the Red Brothers pod. It's been a pleasure having you. And we look forward to seeing you at the pre-match chat for our Liverpool Wolves fixture.
Thank you.